Well, Donald Trump is increasing pressure on Greenland, claiming America must seize control of the Danish island for international security. It's ahead of his deputy's visit to the Arctic island, which will see JD Vance and his wife Usha visit the US Space Force outpost. The change to their itinerary is in response to potentially avoid angering residents. Greenland is seeking independence from Denmark, but Donald Trump is hoping to annex the nation due to its untapped mineral and oil reserves. The US Veep says the region had been ignored for too long.
It's really important. A lot of other countries have threatened Greenland, have threatened to use its territories and its waterways to threaten the United States, to threaten Canada, and of course to threaten the people of Greenland. So we're going to check out how things are going there.
JD Vance's decision to visit a US military base has removed the risk of the US sending a delegation to the region without an official invitation. So if you're just catching up on what this all means, folks, we'll try and help you out here, because joining us live is senior researcher at the Danish Institute for International Studies, Ulrik Pram Gad. Ulrik, thanks for your time this morning. So just backing things up, first of all, to JD Vance's stop there, what do you think his intention is?
I think the US campaign or pressure to invite Greenland into the US is continuing. I think the shift of itineraries here means that someone in Washington found out that the story, the narrative that the prospect of annexation is appealing to Greenlanders, that didn't play. So now they are switching into another narrative focused on security.
This has been spoken about before, particularly in Trump's first term, but it's back again. Is it realistic that the US picks up Greenland this time around?
The thing is, that of course would mean a total change of international law, in the sense that first of all, the Danish sovereignty over Greenland is unchallenged, really, in formal terms, and the principle of self-determination means that it's the Greenlanders who are the only ones who could legally challenge that sovereignty. So if Trump in some way makes Greenland American, without the consent of the Greenlandic people, that would basically mean that a lot of the international law that we have been we've known for the last 8 decades, which America basically helped build, that would be thrown into the trash bin.
Right. So you're obviously speaking from Denmark this morning. What do the people of Greenland want? Which way do they want to go?
I think the most important message coming out of Greenland under all this pressure is that in the long run, we don't want to be Danes, we don't want to be Americans, we want to be Greenlanders. Greenlanders have been talking about and working their way slowly towards independence for decades. It's a goal almost all Greenlanders share, but most of them, and particularly the majority returned in these elections, show that Greenlanders are not in a hurry, because they know it's tough. They have a small population dispersed on an Arctic territory, so stuff needs to change, and that's basically for them to do, and they're working on that. They don't want to be swapping colonial overlords. That's at least a clear message from.
So if we go to the deal now, I mean, we know that the US wants the oil, it wants the minerals, it wants the money that's associated from that. But if it was a deal, because it couldn't just be annexed, I don't think. It couldn't just be a land grab. In Trump world, it would have to be a deal. So what would Greenland get in return if the US was to succeed?
The trouble is that Trump's narratives change. Sometimes he talks about it as if it was a land grab. Sometimes he talks of it as a gift to Greenland. They can come be Americans and be rich. The thing is, first of all, it's difficult to conceive of a deal that makes sense, because Greenlanders already has a lot of self-determination. They don't want to give that away to the US. They even got a lot of influence and even some vetoes over foreign policy on their islands. They don't want to give that away to the US, and they don't want to swap their welfare state for a more Klondike-style capitalism.
Okay, so the Americans might try, they might not succeed though. All right, Ulrik, thank you.